Hey, this is Jason Chandler with the YouTube hashtag Go and Do channel. Now, I'm just a few days away from my gastric sleeve surgery, and if you've been watching my videos or if you're going to watch them, you can know kind of how I've been on a 2-week liquid diet that was prescribed by my surgeon prior to my surgery. Now, what I want to do is I just want to talk to you guys about this 2-week pre-surgery liquid diet. I want to talk about why we do it, what the guidelines are, what I've done, talk a little bit about the exercise, and really there's two reasons why we do the surgery. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the two reasons why we do this surgery. Now, the first reason is physical. So the stomach is just to the left of the liver, and most obese people, especially morbidly obese people, have a fatty liver, and most even have fatty liver disease. Now, if you're lucky, you don't have actual fatty liver disease. I'm one of the lucky people. I don't have fatty liver disease. And why that's important is a fatty liver makes the surgery more difficult. They go in and they take a hook and they actually hook that liver and pull it up out of the way. So if the liver is heavy and fat, it can actually cause complications to the surgery and can even make the surgery go from an arthroscopic surgery to an open procedure, which radically increases the risk and radically increases the recovery time. So what most surgeons do is they put you on a strict diet. Now, my surgeon has actually, they have us do a liquid only diet for 2 weeks. So what's neat about that is that diet can actually radically reduce the amount of fat on your liver and shrink the size of the liver just in 2 weeks. So it can really change the size of the liver fast. So it's important that you do that. Now, the other thing that's important, and maybe even more important, is the second reason why we do it, and that is the psychology. So we usually have an interesting relationship with food up here when we're morbidly obese. So what the 2-week liquid diet does is it gives us the ability to cope with the idea of moving into low volume eating, which is what we're going to be doing after the surgery. The other thing is it helps you to deal with and cope with the psychology of having those cravings and impulses to eat as they become very strong. I think it's great because you can actually deal with those things prior to actually going through the recovery process. So my advice to you is, as hard as it's going to be for you to stay on that diet, you can do it. So what I want to do is I want to talk about a couple of things that I found as I've been doing this liquid diet. Now, some surgeons are just going to have you do a high protein, low or super low carbohydrate diet and may not have you do liquid. Now, that's okay too. It's important that you follow what your surgeon's recommendations are. So what my surgeon wanted us to do is actually follow a liquid diet. Now, we need to try and get between 11 and 1200 calories a day and 100 grams of protein for men and about 60 for women. So what they recommend is that we use drinks like Ensure and Boost, and I just want to talk a little bit about those. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the Ensure High Protein. Now you can see it's got 16 grams of protein. Now this little 8-ounce bottle of Ensure has 160 calories. It has 19 grams of carbs and 16 grams of protein. So it's got almost a 1-to-1 carb to protein ratio. Of all the drinks, these are my least favorite. I don't like the taste or the texture, and I got to tell you, I think I'm probably going to be eating these when I'm 90, and so I'll probably save it for then. What my very favorite drink are the Boost High Protein. Now the Boost High Protein, there's 240 calories in one of these guys, so we can do 5 of these in a day and hit it. And then they also have 15 grams of protein, so that gets us up there in our protein also. The issue with these guys though is they have high carbohydrates. So the Boost has 33 grams of carbohydrates and no dietary fiber. And that's a real problem. So if you're eating something that has sugar and no fiber, you're going to kind of get clogged up, and that's kind of the issue that I've had. Enter the Walmart version of Boost, the Equate High Protein Nutritional Shake. Now, what's really interesting about these is they also have that 15 grams of fiber, but they only have 19 carbohydrates versus the 33 carbohydrates that the regular Boost has. The other interesting thing is it also has really the same exact or very close vitamin profile. And I actually really enjoy the taste of these. Then the other thing that I've tried are the Slim Fast Advanced Nutrition High Protein. Now, these are good because there's actually 11 ounces in this bottle, so it gives you a little bit more to go on. And they have, we're talking 20 grams of protein, so highest protein, plus only 6 grams of carbohydrates. So a lot less carbohydrates, and on top of that, I don't know if you can see that or not. Yep, looks like it's going to focus in. 5 grams of dietary fiber. So also an excellent vitamin profile in these. So for all the crap, you know, that I've read and heard about Slim Fast, this is actually one of the best meal replacement shakes that there is, especially for what we're doing. Now, I'm not going to go into cost on these. It's going to vary market to market. I really, really satisfied. Oh, I wanted to say too that I like the way the Slim Fast tastes. Now, it's harder, you know, it's hard sometimes to get that 100 or a little bit better than 100 grams of protein when you're just drinking these guys. So I actually will, and after my workouts especially, I will supplement with a good high quality whey protein isolate. Now this particular one you can get from Costco. This is the Optimum Nutrition. It's a fantastic product, really high quality protein. I really like it, and the price is just super. Just a couple of flavors though. There's chocolate and vanilla. If you're into the proteins that are really flavorful, they usually have a lot more carbohydrates in them, and where I want to keep my carbs low, I appreciate that per serving there are only 3 grams of carbohydrates in this isolate. So I'm not adding a bunch of carbs so I can keep my carbs low as the surgeon wants. So now I want to just talk a little bit about vitamins. So what vitamins, you know, are there out there? Now there's a whole slew of bariatric vitamins that are made specifically for people with bariatric surgery. I think it's great if you want to try those. My surgeon and nutrition team has just really, you know, they showed a whole bunch of different kinds of vitamins. Some you can put in water and whatnot, but what I am actually taking are the Centrum Adult Chewables, orange burst flavor. I mean, I've eaten a lot of oranges in my life. These are kind of just like somebody took Tang and sugar and poured it together. They're very tart, they're really chalky, but they are chewable. And I'll follow up with it on this video and tell you, you know, how I do swallowing pills later on, but after the surgery. But the chewable vitamins are supposed to, you know, be much easier. So I take those, and then for a calcium supplement, I've got this Kirkham calcium citrate, magnesium, and zinc. Now these are great big pills. I'll pull one out and show you. I don't have a problem with large pills, but some people do. So those are pretty good. Those are pretty good sized pills. Obviously, you can cut those in half and take them a half at a time. Calcium citrate is what they said that we had to have. There are other versions of calcium, but this one digests and is absorbed better. and so that's really why I decided to take that. So I'll take my multivitamin in the morning, and then I'll take the calcium at night. I just break it up that way, trying to develop a habit for how to do it. So in a nutshell, that's really what we've, you know, what I've been recommended and what I've been doing. And I think that you'll have a lot of success if you really stick to it and try the different flavors. Again, if I was going to rank the drinks, I would say that probably, you know, I really like this Equate one. then the Slim Fast. We'll mix these in, especially because it's got the dietary fiber. I think that's super important. Um, Boost is right up there too, but there's no dietary fiber in that guy. And then Ensure, wow, don't like how it tastes. Don't like the chocolate. Don't like the vanilla. Don't like the strawberry. Don't like the alternatives to the Equate. Really not my thing, but you may absolutely like the Equate. So, what can we learn from all this? There's actually a reason why you're doing this diet pre-op. So stick to it. Get that liver shrunk down. Get that liver so that it can be small and reduce the complications. Then the last thing that I wanted to talk about, I'm just going to take a drink here. The last thing I wanted to talk about is exercise. Now, obviously, it's easier to burn fat if we are exercising. So I have really stuck to my exercise regimen. Go on walks, and then if you see my workout logs, I actually CrossFit. And I think those are super important things to do. Stick to your exercise. There's been a huge change in my energy level. That's okay. Doesn't mean you can't still do it. If you haven't been exercising, now's a great time to go out there, walk around, do some activity, and start to get used to that, moving and exercise, and go for it. I mean, not everybody's going to be able to do the level of exercise that I do as a morbidly obese person. However, that doesn't mean that you can't go out and walk around, that you can't, go to a pool, that you can't, get moving. The more physical you are before the surgery, the better you do on this diet, the better your surgery is going to go, the healthier you are, the quicker your recovery is going to be. And then remember, drink tons of water. It's really important to stay hydrated. I struggle with that. You can see I've got this drink right here. What I do is I fill this full of ice water, and then I mix it about 1 part of 100% cranberry juice. Not one that has sugar. It's the really tart kind. I really like the Kirkland all juice cranberry juice, 100% juice. That stuff's really good. It just gives a little flavor for me and breaks up the monotony of the water. So listen, this diet has been super hard. I have made it through it. I'm going to have surgery in just a few days. It's going to be awesome, and I'm telling you, it's totally worth sticking on the diet. Don't cheat, and just put the hammer down and do it right and beat your obesity. Make sure that you make this a great day, and go and do.